Hey, good morning. Nice to see you. How are you doing? You can make hand gestures. Okay, thanks. I just want to make sure my glasses are clean enough to see you. It's amazing what classes go through in the course of a day or overnight while they're sitting on the table. Good morning. So this morning for class, you will need a yoga strap. And if you're someone who's using blocks like I am for the sun salutation, you'll probably want that too. Good. Nice to see you all. Okay, let's begin with a little bit of sitting quietly. We'll have some pranayama from here, and we'll do our opening chant as well. So please rest your hands in your lap. You're welcome to close your eyes. Let your attention come in. For most of us, this is early morning. We're on the West Coast or in Alaska. Some of you are joining in the mid-morning because you're on the East Coast. Some of you are in the late afternoon, you're across the ocean. So whatever you've come from, whether it was just sleep or in the garden or a work day, let yourself bring your antenna in and down. And try to get the news of your body, your mind and your heart, the kind of update from what's happening right now with your breath. And just notice how welcome your breath feels in your body. You don't have to make the breath bigger. So this is really just observing, like you might observe the quiet morning before the birds sing. And respecting whatever news your body is providing. Sometimes this information is reflecting the last couple of minutes of life. Sometimes how the last few minutes picked up remnants of the past, and that's showing up physiologically in the now. Sometimes the news of the body is showing us how we slept or what we've been eating and whether that was harmonious, or the numbers of hours in a day that you might have been working or parenting. So respecting whatever comes as you check in, so that we can essentially make nothing bad or wrong. It's all information, sensation, and also opportunity. Yesterday we used a pranayama practice that we'll use again this morning, and it's using half of the Nadi Shodhana practice. So we inhale through the left nostril. We'll be exhaling out both sides of the nose. Then we'll inhale through the right nostril, and then we'll exhale out both sides of the nose. We're doing this to get a sense of where we are now and what'll happen halfway through class, 2/3 of the way through class, and then at the end of class. So please bring your right hand up and place your right thumb on the right side of your nose. Sit up nice and tall so you've got this lift through the entire spinal column. And then begin with a slow inhale through the left nostril. At the top of your inhale, release your right hand and gently hold the breath for just a few moments. And then exhale out through both nostrils slowly. Use the deep low belly to tone, like you're using that zipper that I've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. And then bring your right hand up to close the left nostril. We're going to inhale right side only. And again, at the top of the inhale, you're going to hold the breath for a few moments. You can release the right hand, it's not needed. And then you exhale through both sides of the nose using the deep low belly. I'm going to ask you to continue this at your own pace, because for For some of you, it's morning, so you haven't had a lot of movement in the body yet. Some of you, it's mid-afternoon, you've had a lot of movement in the mind. So at your own pace, let's do 3 more rounds and try to sense how the breath can be 3-dimensional. So for example, include the back of your kidneys and the back of your heart. At the top of each inhale, you just have this very gentle hold to the in-breath, just enough to savor it, and then you're going to exhale out both nostrils. And we'll do that, perhaps it's once more, twice more on each side until you finish with inhaling through the right nostril and exhaling through both nostrils. So we finish with inhale right nostril. And then you're going to exhale through both nostrils. At the timing that you come around to that, let that be the last exhale for this pranayama. And notice again the news of the body, which is also to say the news of your psyche, your mind, and your heart. And please join your hands together in Anjali Mudra. May our practice help us to be people of greater discernment, knowing the unreal from the real, that which is true from that which is untrue, moving from darkness to light, from forgetting to remembering. May we know the finite from the infinite. May we respect each. You may sing with me. Om Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorama Amritam Gamaya Om Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorama Amritam Gamaya Om Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorama Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om. With your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart. Release your hands and please open your eyes. Okay, we're going to transition to my other camera and we will come up to standing. So I'll see you there in just a moment. Yeah, very good. I don't want to tangle any of my cords here. Let's see. Yeah, so when you come up to standing, place your feet so they're hip distance apart and parallel. So we've been working on opening the upper torso and the chest through here. There's a couple things we'll do today because this is called the experience class, and we'll do them and you can always opt in or opt out. But we're going to start here with the chest. So interlace your fingers, take the heels of the hands forward. Okay, when you inhale, I'm going to ask you to do this. It'll seem a little bit backwards to some of you, but when you inhale, push like you're doing cat pose. When you exhale, pull the heels of the hands towards the heart and make a little back bend like you're doing cow pose or cobra pose. Okay, now inhale, sweep the hands up. Then exhale, bring the palms down to Anjali Mudra, but just keep the fingers interlaced. You're going to do it again. Okay, inhale, push forward like cat pose around the upper back, gaze down towards your toes. Exhale, pull the heels of the hands into the heart, widen your elbows and back bend. You could put the hands on the sternum to go upwards. Inhale, raise your arms and your heart. And exhale, hands down to Anjali Mudra, remembering the purpose of your practice. Again, inhale, push forward, draw the upper back into cat pose. Exhale, pull the heart forward and the hands back, elbows wide. Inhale, glide up. Exhale, hands to the heart, Anjali Mudra, remembering the purpose of your practice. We're going to change this slightly. Inhale, hands forward, gaze down, like cat pose in the upper back. Exhale, heart forward, draw the heels of the hands back, lift your collarbones. Okay, now inhale, sweep the hands up and gaze up. And then here, on the exhale, gaze down and pull the hands behind your head. Inhale, gaze up, raise your hands. And exhale, hands down to the heart. Same thing once more. Inhale, like cat pose. Exhale, draw into the heart. Lift your heart and collarbones, elbows wide. Inhale, raise up. Now exhale, gaze down and pull the hands down behind your head. And then inhale to glide back up. And exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Anjali Mudra. Then let both arms relax, let them go heavy. And notice any changes. Maybe some heat, maybe some of the muscles felt tired or energized. Now wrap your right arm around behind you and place the back of your hand, if possible, up towards the back of the heart like this. Okay, and turn your nose deeply to your left and gaze down past your left shoulder towards the floor. Roll your right shoulder back, and now try to focus the breath from the base of the belly to the mid-torso and up into the heart. So you really get this, the top of the inhale is lifting the heart. Press your right shoulder deeply back. The right chin comes down towards your left shoulder. One more time, breathe from the base of the belly up into your heart. And then exhale, rotate your head to center, let both arms be heavy, and notice the difference from the right hemisphere of your face to your right hand and left hemisphere to your left hand. And then wrap your left arm around behind you, walk the hand up towards the back of your heart, rotate your head deeply to your right, bring your chin down towards your throat. And you are trying to press the left shoulder back, which is more important than pressing your left elbow back. In fact, taking the elbow back might push the shoulder forward, so focus on, at the top of the inhale, the breath comes up into the heart, and the left shoulder can press back because the collarbone rises to give freedom to your left shoulder. And keep the gaze down past your right shoulder. So your chin is in towards your right collarbone and towards your right shoulder. Breathe in one more time. And then as you exhale, rotate back to center. Let both arms become heavy. Okay, now for the sun salutation, please step to the front of your mat with your 2 blocks for Surya Namaskar. And in the Surya Namaskar this morning, I'm going to focus on how we do cobra pose. Let me just check if you're going to see me in cobra pose. See if I can change this very slightly. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're going to use the 2 blocks during cobra pose this morning. I know that's going to seem for some of you like what to do with the shoulders. So we'll break that down after we get some heat going in the body. Please bring your hands together at your heart. Okay, interlace your fingers. Inhale, rise up and tippy toe. And then exhale, lower the heels of your feet as you come down slowly to your Uttanasana. And lightly touch the 2 blocks to complete the exhale. Press into the deep low belly to help the exhale depart. Then inhale, glide your heart forward and actively move your collarbones forward, open your throat and your gaze. And then exhale to deeply bow towards your legs again. And press into the deep low abdomen to support the completion of your exhale. Good, now inhale, glide your heart forward. And then exhale, step back with your left foot, that's called your basic lunge. Inhale, rise up to your crescent lunge. Put the palms together overhead like an arrow, and when you exhale, clasp the hands, pull the hands down behind your head and gaze down. Inhale, reach up like an arrow. Exhale, take the elbows wide, gaze down. Again, inhale, reach up like an arrow. And exhale, elbows wide and gaze down. This time, lots of freedom. Inhale to reach up. And exhale, sweep your arms wide. Make an enormous circle of the heart and the arms as you come forward. Lightly touch the 2 blocks. And inhale your left foot up to meet your right foot. Bring your heart forward, open your throat. Exhale, step back with your right foot. Inhale, glide up. And this time, give yourself the challenge of changing the interlace of your fingers. So it'll feel like the awkward interlace. Reach up high like an arrow. Good. And then exhale, squeeze the elbows back, gaze down. Again, inhale to go up. And exhale to glide the arms back as you gaze down. One more time. Inhale to reach up. And now lots of freedom. Sweep the arms wide. Be your most expansive at this moment. And touch the 2 blocks, set them aside, and please step backwards to downward facing dog pose. Now in downward dog pose, we're going to repeat something that some of you know from the past classes with me back at the studio. I'm going to ask you to keep the arms totally straight so you're not bending your elbows in this activity. On the inhale, press your downward dog more firmly so your hips really rise and the dog pose seems longer to you. But when you exhale, keep the arms steady and let the heart just glide a little bit towards the hands. So you're actually going to be massaging the upper back. It'll feel like your shoulder blades are gliding over your rib cage. And so it's the inhale where the body seems a lot longer in downward dog. And on the exhale, when you're gliding the shoulder blades towards your hips, the crown of your skull towards your hands, there's a sense almost of squeezing or hugging the upper back with the shoulder blades. Do that once more, please. And then inhale and come forward to plank pose. Gaze down between your thumbs in plank pose. Lift the base of your skull and broaden the back hemisphere of your body. Terrific, nice work. And now we're going to exhale to one of my favorites. It's called knees, chest, and chin pose. So you touch the knees down, the chest and chin come down, and then you inhale to cobra. And guess what? You're going to exhale backwards to knees, chest, and chin pose. So the hips go up, the heart and chin come down. Inhale, cobra. Good. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, inchworm. You have to go backwards to get there. And inhale, cobra. And last time, exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Now inhale, press up to plank pose. And then exhale, reach backwards, downward facing dog pose. And just do this very deep breathing, but a gentle glide again, where the shoulder blades are gliding on the rib cage. So to do that, your inhale, the pose gets longer. And during your exhale, the pose doesn't get shorter, but it feels like your heart and your head glide towards your hands. Do that one more time, please. Great. And now use the awkward foot to step forward, one foot, and then the second foot. Return to your Uttanasana. Good, good. So now in Uttanasana, let's put the blocks back under the hands, please. And we're going to change how we're doing this. It'll only be an internal change. You don't have to actually look to see it. So when you inhale, lift the base of your skull and the back of your heart to glide forward. So your gaze is back towards the heels of your feet. And when you exhale, bow deeply, and your gaze can go back to the back edge of your yoga mat. As you inhale, glide forward, but keep the gaze tracing a line just to the place between the heels of your feet. And then exhale to glide down into Uttanasana, and your gaze goes back towards the back edge of your yoga mat. Once more, inhale, glide your heart forward, lift the base of your skull, and trace a line to land between the heels of your feet. And last one, exhale to deeply bow, gazing back, all the footsteps on the path of yoga. Now we inhale to rise up, Urdhva Hastasana, sweep the arms wide. And then exhale, float your hands down in front of your heart. Notice the upper back, heart, and throat region. And let yourself stand really still. Let the mind also become deeply still. That experience in nature just before or just after the bird song of morning. And while standing, let's just check our pranayama. Bring your right hand up. Close the right nostril. Inhale, left side only. And a tiny hold. And then you exhale through both nostrils. And bring the right hand up to close the left nostril. Inhale, right side. And a tiny hold before you exhale through both nostrils. Okay, now we're going to add a yoga strap to your sun salutation. So you take the strap like this, I will show you once as you're getting yourself ready. So when I'm back here in this basic lunge, I take the arms forward, my hands are about shoulder width apart, the arms come up. Here the elbows come down like the shape of a box. And please watch for a moment. When the elbows are bent here, I'm then going to try to reach back. You will have to slide the hands apart for anybody for whom the shoulders need more space on the strap. Otherwise, you can do it as I was doing there. I go from my box shape like this, and I tip the hands back, and then I'm reaching back and back and back. But you have to honor your own shoulder flexibility. I clearly have a lot of shoulder flexibility. Okay, so step up in mountain pose. So your feet are hip distance apart. And this will be our variation on Anjali Mudra here. You're also going to practice balancing on this transition. So with your Ujjayi inhale, raise your arms up slowly. Okay, let's exhale, bend the knees as if you're going to go down to chair pose. We won't do a full chair pose, but I'd like you to put your body weight now into your right heel. Pick up your left knee and then glide the left toes back. There's the base of your crescent lunge. Good job. So with the torso up, now slide the hands apart until you come down to the box shape, like this. Lift the low belly, so you have your zipper from the pubic bone to the belly button. And without flaring your ribs forward, begin the process of lengthening the arms back. Raise your heart up, and make it up in the heart and the collarbones, right? Yeah, beautiful, Pat. That's awesome. Good, Bella. That's right, Suzanne. So breathing in. If it's possible for your balance, you can raise your gaze. Sometimes I like to imagine I'm standing in very nicely temperatured water, and the water is at the level of the armpits, and we're laying the upper arms and the head back in the water to gaze at the open sky. Now, as you exhale, bring your gaze forward, loosen the strap between your hands so it's easy to bring it down. Bring your torso slightly forward and take a big step. Mountain pose. Bring your strap around in front. Here we go, nice job. Again, inhale. You did very well with that, thank you. Bend your knees like a half chair pose. Put your body weight into your left heel. Pick up your right knee. And as you glide back, place the toes. Good work. Yes. And again, check the foundation of your pose, right? Including your pelvis, good, Nicole, and the low belly. So we're not exploiting the lower back flexibility. Make the hands down to the box shape. Breathe in. This is your yoga practice to nourish your heart and your mind, not to torture your body. So as you start taking the arms back, think of the delicious experience of moving the body. Slide your hands apart if they need more space on the strap to support your shoulders. And if you like, you could imagine that you're standing in beautiful water. It's just the perfect temperature for you. And the arms lean back on the surface of the water, as does your head. And then bring your gaze forward, loosen the strap between your hands. You place the strap aside. And as you come forward, now step into your downward dog pose. Put your strap close enough to reach it. We're going to use it in a few minutes. And notice how your downward dog feels now when you get here to the breath. What is the inner experience? Where is there capacity? Where is there freshness? And then please inhale and come forward to plank pose. Good. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale to cobra pose. So the heart comes forward and up like an inchworm going to cobra. Good, Nicole. And then exhale, knees, chest, and chin. The inchworm goes a little bit backwards to get there. We inhale to cobra. Exhale, inchworm. Inhale, cobra. Nice job. Exhale, inchworm pose. Last one, inhale to cobra. And exhale, flow down to Makrasana. Make a pillow of the two hands. Rest your forehead there. And watch your body go from exertion to ease. From activity to stillness. We say from rajas to tamas. Observe the process. Let your body rest and digest. To integrate, assimilate. Let the mind also go from Surya to Chandra, so activity in the world, to the internal reflectivity. Good. And then please place your hands under your shoulders and press back to child's pose. When you come to child's pose, you can use a support like a blanket or a block for your head. Let everything slow down. And then place your hands beneath your shoulders to come up and sit in zazen, which means to place a block or something under your heels, under your hips, between your heels. So sitting in zazen, we're going to check in with our pranayama again. I'm going to ask you this time to lightly count the experience you have of the breath. You're not evaluating yourself, you're just gathering information. So sitting up nice and tall here. Before we do pranayama, let's try to sense the cylindrical, upright quality of the body. And if you imagine that there were a couple of rivers, one central river, we call the central channel, and two important but side-by-side rivers to the central. So on the left hemisphere of the body, on the right hemisphere of the body. Now bring your right hand up and close the right nostril and lightly count the length of your inhale on the left side. And hold the breath for a few moments. And then do your best to exhale equal to the length that your inhale was, using the deep low belly to support the exhale process with no sense of rushing. And bring the right hand up to inhale right side only. And holding the breath for a few moments. And exhale equal to the length of your inhale. Now we're going to repeat that the exhale is going to be as if you were blowing out through a tiny cocktail straw. This is from last week's practice and over the weekend. So please bring your right hand up, close the right nostril, inhale left side only. You're going to hold the breath for a few moments. Purse the lips like you have a very tiny cocktail straw out of which you're going to be blowing the exhale. And then you can begin that silent, long exhale. Now try it with the right nostril. So you close the left side. Inhale, right side only. You hold the breath for a few moments and then use your cocktail straw exhale. And then let yourself sit very quietly, as if you were standing in that beautiful water and you are not causing it to ripple. The surface is very clear and smooth. You can see the sky on the surface of the water. I'd like us to bring this inner quality with us. We're going to be looking at cobra pose as kind of a significant pose for this morning. I want to show you a variation. I will be using 2 blocks and a blanket, and it's helpful if you watch the demonstration first. So the 2 blocks are going to be set up for the hands. I'm going to put them back here. And this blanket, I have pre-folded it. It's kind of like, I like to say, like a cooking show. I already chopped the vegetables. I pre-folded this. So where it came from is I opened the blanket long, like this. And then you fold it in half, length to length, twice. So you have this. And this is going to go on the floor. So the place that I want you to be when you lie down for this cobra pose is that your pelvis is here on the front edge of the blanket. So the pubic bone is at the very edge of the blanket where my fist is. The belly, low belly here, and then the rest of the torso. So when I lie down here, I'll take my glasses off because they're going to be in the way. When I lie down here, I can then place the hands on the 2 blocks. And when I bow the forehead down, my arm should look like a grasshopper getting ready for yoga. With the blanket under the pelvis and the pubic bone at the edge, it's going to be easier to keep the legs really grounded. So then we're going to roll the shoulders back and come up to this cobra pose here. And the idea then is that we're going to be able to melt the heart forward and down in coming to this cobra pose, kind of like low cobra here. And then higher cobra here. And you are pressing the hands down to roll the shoulders back. And when we come through here, we are putting some support on the hands, but it's mostly that the heart wants to melt forward. And we'll do it a few times to warm up the upper back. So please come onto your folded blanket. If you don't have one, of course, it's completely understandable that you practice without it, or you can substitute a bath towel that you fold up. And place your hands on two blocks or on two very stable dogs of the right size, willing to be your yoga props. Good. Okay, now the tailbone roots down towards the heels, so the legs should stay really grounded in this cobra pose. And you're going to inhale and glide up to what you might think of as your high cobra pose, right? The heart comes forward, the collarbones lift, that's great, beautiful. And then exhale and glide your heart forward to low cobra pose. Think of yourself as moving through that beautiful body of water. You're not causing ripples, and you can do your cobra about 4 times at the pace that you are moving. You're doing a great job with your discernment. This pose is not intended to make your pranayama evaporate in terms of the influence that you just had. We are trying to increase the efficacy of our pranayama. Let's do it one more time. And this time as you roll down, go ahead and take the arms into Makrasana. Turn your head to one side. And let the back of the body breathe and have this gentle sense of relief from action to stillness. In Cobra Pose, we do use the arms and hands. It's a matter of how we use them. We don't use them to override the flexibility of the lower back. And we do want the shoulders to be able to go back behind the heart. As if in Cobra Pose, you're peeling the chest and the heart open like the mythical creature whose name is Hanuman, where he opens his chest and heart to be of service. Okay, let's place the hands once more. This time, for those of you who would like to, you can use your inhale to go up to seal pose or upward facing dog pose, which is what I'm showing here. And then the exhale, we lower the tops of the thighs, the pubic bone, and the heart glides forward to cobra pose. Some of you can just repeat the high cobra and the low cobra, and others may want the upward facing dog. And that comes down to cobra pose also, but in either case, the shoulders are back behind the heart. Know that you are strengthening yourself in your practice right now. And that strength is physical, but also mental, concentration strength, discernment strength, the strength of your stamina. And the next time you roll down, let's go to Makrasana. Turn your head to the other side. And invite your body to go from exertion to ease again, from activity to stillness. This is incredibly sacred time that you've given to your self-care. And how you care for your body right now, if we were to take that as a reflection of how do we also care for each other, for the ecology that we're dependent upon. We want this care to be with deep respect and the strength and stamina that are needed for the task at hand. So please now place your hands beneath your shoulders. And I'm going to ask you to rise up and turn your blanket so it goes this way. And you have your 2 blocks. We're going to practice anjaneyasana. So Anjaneya, she was the mother of Hanuman. She gave birth to the Hanuman, the mythical creature whose dedication is to service. So we go like this now. We're going to put the shins on the blanket so that when you're kneeling, your knees go past the edge of the blanket and the shin bones are supported. And then I'm going to step my right foot forward first. We did this yesterday in the noontime class. This is called anjaneyasana. We're going to start with the fingers low on the blocks like this. Perfect. Yep, good to see you. I can see you there in my mirror and I can see you over here in my monitor. Right, great. So here, I'd like you now to press down into both blocks and place your gaze down towards your right heel. When you press into the blocks, think of lifting the back waist very gently as if there were a small parachute there that you are breathing into. With your shin on the blanket and the kneecap kind of freed, my hope is that those of you who have mentioned that your knees are tender for this kind of thing, that they feel supported right now. Now, tip your blocks up to the tall setting. Press down again into the fingertips, into your blocks, gaze down, and then start the process of rolling your chest and heart up like you just did in cobra pose. When the fingers press down, you might have an easier time lifting the low belly. And so let's do that. Lift your heart. And then keeping the lift of the inner body, please sweep your arms wide and up overhead. Find a place for your gaze to rest, so the mind is not moving about. And now as you exhale, take the arms wide and come down and cross your left elbow over your right knee. As you cross, you may hook your armpit if that's the way you practice this twist. Bring your palms together. Widen the elbows so your twist is in your upper back, your heart, and your head. Keep the left shin grounded on your blanket so your left knee doesn't collapse down to the floor and the kneecap should feel kind of unburdened right now. Beautiful work. Let's roll down. Turn the blocks down to the medium setting. And then step backwards with your right foot. Place your right shin so your kneecap is going to be free on the edge of the blanket right there. And then bring your left foot forward. And start with your anjaneyasana. The blocks are going to be a little forward. Place your fingertips on the blocks so you can press down and gaze down towards your left heel. That means that your inner sense can go towards the back waist from the inside. Breathe across your lower back as if you were broadening a small parachute right there. And then you can tip the blocks up tall. For those who like, you can walk them slightly back. Press down into your fingertips. Keep gazing down. Catch a sense of the lift of the inner body here. And then go upwards. And then sweep the arms. And find a place for your gaze. And even if this particular moment is like luminous or challenging, whatever your experience is, this particular moment is also your effort in a practice, in a tradition, in a process of awakening. Now as you exhale, sweep the arms wide and come across so that your right elbow crosses your left knee. Join the palms together, widen your elbows apart. And while you're twisting, you can look over your left shoulder. You can also gaze in that direction and close your eyes. That'll challenge your balance, so be thoughtful, please. Acknowledge the efforts you are making. It's beautiful. Wonderful. And then let's exhale, turn back to face forward, tip the two blocks down. And then step your left shin back to the blanket. Okay, you're doing a great job. Please watch me for the last physical pose that we'll do this morning. We are going to go to a shavasana in a moment, so we have time for pranayama. So if I come back to where we were starting, let me show you. If I show you with my right foot forward, you won't have a good view. So I'm going to do it this way. Left foot forward, the block's tall, and you're going to turn. The support shin now has the full blanket. So this is like a sideways version of that basic lunge. So what you have here is the left, this would be your left thigh. The left thigh is vertical. The hips, as much as possible, are level. And you've got this box shape right through here. With the shin supported, we're going to come into this sort of, we could think of it as a half Parsvakonasana. It's half shorter than it would be if you were standing. So we glide into this and sweep the arm overhead. And then we'll come up and change sides. So let's put your left shin on the blanket, even though this is my right shin. Step your right shin and knee out to the side like this. Great. Aim your right knee in line with your third toe. Say hello to your inner thigh muscles. And then let the glide begin. So your hips are going to glide towards your right heel. Place your right forearm firmly on your right knee. Okay, root the tailbone so you don't have your butt hanging out behind you. And sweep your left arm. And really try to sense the space you're making for the breath to come in the pranayama practice. I'm not so interested in what you look like in the end range of your yoga pose. We are more interested in what happens as a result of your practice. What happens with your breath? Press down through your left knee against the blanket and reach up into your left fingers and thumbs. Your right forearm against your right knee should be active, so you can keep a little lift in the deep low belly as you press your right forearm down and root your right heel. And you can exhale, use your left low belly to come upright. Release the left arm. And let's change sides. And you can do that by switching around, or you can switch it. I'm going to do it so you can still see me. Up to you how you want to do it. Good. And then right thigh vertical. Left thigh probably parallel, maybe, maybe not. As you glide into this, place your left elbow. Press firmly down here in this contact and sweep your right arm past your right ear. And press down through your right thigh. So it's like the femur is getting longer and your right shin more grounded. And breathe into the right side of your waist. And imagine the space you're making for that river on the right side of your body. We have the central channel, it's called Shushumna. And then we have the smaller two primary channels called Ida and Pingala. Breathe into your low abdomen. And then exhale and tone your right low belly to float yourself up. And release your right arm down. Okay, one pose on the way to Shavasana. Please take a seat on your blanket for Paschimottanasana. You can sit and take the legs out. Good job, you guys. Thank you. Legs out in this direction. And then inhale, raise the arms up. And exhale, please come forward. And into your Paschimottanasana. Whatever your flexibility happens to be, there are options. One of my favorites is to support my head with a block. I realize that not everybody can come that deeply down, so you might need 5 or 6 blocks, or you might need to bend your knees to make this possible. Keep the legs gently toned and try to sense the effort of the practice now fading. The medicine of the practice soaking more deeply in to the muscles, to the joints, to the organs, to the tissues. And keeping your leg muscles energized, walk your fingertips a tiny bit more forward and see what happens in the upper back. And then glide your hands back towards your hips and press down and rise up to sitting. Now we have a couple of options for Shavasana this morning. One is that you can take this folded blanket and just put it under your knees. But another is that you could take it lengthwise down your mat so that you're lying backwards on it. That means that your sacrum is on the yoga mat. The legs are out and you can make a tiny curl like an inchworm for the neck. That's an option. You can also take this folded blanket and use it for pratyahara. If all you have is one blanket, this is a couple different ways to use it. So you could fold it like this. So your Shavasana is very inward for the senses. You could also take this blanket and keeping it folded lengthwise, you can lay it down the front line of the body like this, which can feel like a little protection or nourishment to the chakra system, especially if you tend to be someone for whom your energy goes forward all day. This is a way to say you're going to contain some of that energy for yourself. And then let the arms go out to the sides, palms face down if your mind needs to be more settled. Palms face up. If you sense that today you would benefit from being a little more receptive or optimistic. Whichever choice you're making, then allow yourself to settle into that choice as the one that your body needs today. And whichever choice that was for you, let your eyes, your ears, your tongue, the nose, the skin, all the senses can turn inwards. Invite your mind to go inside and to imagine a clear river of energy that moves in this central channel we call Sushumna. Imagine a beautiful, clear river moving in the central channel of your body. without any obstructions, the river unburdened, unhurried, and unworried. Shanti 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 Allow this clear river to continue moving without obstructions. No obstacles are there. Imagine this river as deeply cleansing to your entire ecology. Cleansing the ecology of your body, your mind, your psyche, your heart. Shanti 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 Allow your body and your mind to rest even a few degrees more deeply. Let all five senses stay inward. Om Shanti Om. Shanti Om. Shanti Om. Shanti Om. Over the next few moments now, you can quietly welcome the breath to join that river, the Sushumna. And please lightly wiggle your fingers and your toes. And you can bend your knees. And please roll to your right side. And you can use both hands to come up to sitting. And we're going to sit, and then there'll be a bit of pranayama I'd like you to explore. Once you come up to your seat, go ahead and find the place that feels most stable for you. And try to imagine now that river is actually more like a vertical column. Now when we practice Nadi Shodhana, and you close the right nostril, to inhale on the left side only, I'm going to ask you to make the nostril only partway open. So you're narrowing the aperture through which the air will pass. That means it will slow down the intake of the air. It's going to require the diaphragm and some discernment, some sensitivity. And please bring the right hand up, and you can close the right nostril. Inhale through the half open left nostril. And then hold the inhale. You can lower the right hand. And like a teeny opening at the mouth, we're going to exhale. And bring the right hand up. Close the left nostril. Inhale through the half open right nostril. Then you hold the breath. Make a tiny straw for the exhale. Once more on each side, please. So 2 more breath cycles. Inhale, left nostril is next. Tiny opening for the exhale. Last time, inhale on the right side only. Through the half open right nostril. And then last time, the exhale through a tiny opening. And when you complete that, then you sit quietly, let the mind be absorbed in the Sushumna Nadi, the central channel we call it, or the central river in this case this morning. And sense the possibility of deep quiet, even if thoughts pass like the bird in the sky. Listen for the silence, the tranquil mind. And please bring your hands together at your heart. And we can sing Om Shanti together, please. Take it as a gentle inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May there be peace, peace, everlasting peace. Thank you, everyone. Namaste. First, you may release your hands when you're ready.